All I know is at some point I'm going to have some players very keen on some Dragonbane. So we just need to make sure we set some kind of hard end at some point. It doesn't have to be today by any means.
I so
Let's.
thought you were gonna drop into the intro then.
Oh,
At
did
some
you?
point, I thought there were gonna be players.
uh,
Play Dragonbane. I'm like, oh yeah,
Okay.
that's
Jeez.
Moj in the chat said, "Aim for 3, play for 7," which is pretty much that's the
Yep.
alien system. And do you
free
guys?
league endorse that.
Yeah, yeah. And do you guys remember how alien things were?
Getting dicey.
Starters.
In case of emergency, break into glass.
Yeah.
Take it away, Christian.
Well, who wants to recap? What
Oh,
happened
me.
last session?
Gas station. And we're
Gas
done. So last time the surviving trio made it to the gas station, and their goal was to extract some sweet petroleum fuel for our little car. And there was some discussion around how to approach it. We did a little bit of reconnaissance, made some rolls, set ourselves up on a little bit of a vantage point on the roof of the building to the north. And then old Wilson rocked in, all ready to talk with some anecdotes to get some petrol out of them. And then gunshots fired, and wow, that's terrifying. And then for the rest of the session, we sort of went through a bit of combat. There was a bunch of shooting. Learnt how some of the mechanics work. The old ammunition counter I really enjoyed with the old suppression, which is pretty effective. We had some grenades.
Yeah, which weren't as effective as I was hoping.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, but suppression is good on those, I think.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could like suppress 70 people if they were like crammed into a pile. We survived. Just got some sweet XP at the end. What else did I miss, guys?
Big gunfight. Oh, there was no petrol. Probably the big takeaway or not takeaway
yeah,
from the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Wilson's armor just got messed up, and Miller got a little bit of stress, I think, as well.
And Davis has a bullet wound in the shoulder.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We all kind of got shot at. I don't think Miller got injured. I think he just got, because I don't think he's lost any health. Let me take a look.
The healing mechanic is pretty decent in this game too. Like, Wilson was like half dead, and Davis comes along with the med kit, bit of blue tack and some sellotape, and he's feeling much better.
I mean, to be fair, Davis specced into med. I'm like, we're probably going to get shot at some point.
Yeah, it's
True.
fair.
But yeah, no. If anyone wants to, because we all piled into the car at the end of the session.
Because we took someone hostage, kind of. We tried to question him to get something out of him. We didn't get anything out of him, and we ended up just taking his gun, leaving him there by himself, and driving off.
Oh, we left his gun because he had the RPK that got
that's
wrecked.
right.
But you did grab a AKM.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Got a knife, I think, too. Did we get a knife?
A knife as well. Yeah.
Got a knife, a new assault rifle, and a couple of mags, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And
we only spent like 100 rounds of ammo.
yeah. Now, Christian, you were saying there were some things about rules.
Yeah, I went back through some of the rules, and one of them is if you take damage and you don't receive medical treatment within a stretch, then you have to roll for an infection.
Okay.
So Wilson's good because Davis ran over more or less straight away, patched him up. But sitting in this car, maybe if someone's able to take a look at Davis.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this could be just a fun mechanic to play with.
I think Wilson's driving, so Miller's more than happy to. he sort of sees you squirming. He's like, "Oh shit! Did you get?" Oh,
It just pulls off the vest, kind of pulls it down, and there's just a darkening stain on their shoulder.
Yeah, he kind of just asks, he sort of angles you onto your side so we can get a better look of it, and opens up your sort of pack and pulls out the meds. He's like, I've never done anything like this before, so I'm just gonna
I'll talk you through it.
Okay, all right.
I can't get an angle myself.
Yeah. So does that mean you're helping me with this roll then?
You know what? I think yes.
Yeah,
Because
so.
I can. He's a trained medic. He's talking you through it, but you have to roll. You get +1 for your personal med kit, I believe. I think you just tick the button. But also, these med kits are one shot. So when Davis ran over, when Davis ran over and fixed up Wilson, that was knowing that this may be the only med kit that I know about. But we've got to patch up Wilson.
Oh.
Do we have more med kits? Miller sort of like asks. Wilson, did you bring any?
Oh, let me check my backpack, but I feel like this is a new priority, guys. Like,
yeah, how bad is this wound? Like the bullet looks like the bullet's still in there.
We should be able to. If you can open it up a little, I can take a better look. But we're definitely going to have to disinfect this and try and slow down some of the bleeding.
How about we stop the car, guys? Like, I feel like surgery is worthy of us being stationary.
I mean, it's getting dark. Maybe we find somewhere to hole up for the night, and we can do this then. Because we're still in a town or in a city.
But so we've got Wilson. You've got a personal med kit. I think we all had our
I've just rifled through my backpack. I've got Polish dictionary and field ration. That's the closest I've got.
Okay, all right. That means we've got this is it. This med kit is the last. You're the expert here, with Davis. Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling a little woozy, so I think we should. This needs looking at. Okay, hey, look, if your leg comes off, I can help you there. But just for this kind of thing, I need a hand. I'm just going to unpause the war as well. Now we're in trouble.
Okay,
that's when things get dicey.
Personal med kit. And do I get a +1 for you talking me through this?
Yep.
So it's +2 here. All right. He pulls out some of the stuff you're talking him through, what to look for, and
so you want to get that bit and you want to open that up.
He just digs into where the bullet is.
Yep. Okay. No, it looks like that's staying where it is. Hold on. Just give me something, and I'll try and apply some pressure on it.
It was a 4 and a fail. So if I was to push this
physically, try and push it out that back.
You take stress.
I'm happy to do that. It's just like it's blood is like he's done something wrong and more blood is pouring out, and he's grabbing some gauze and he's trying to wipe it down, trying to clean it, disinfect it. And he's just like, okay, and he grabs like a scalpel to try and just like hook the edge of the bullet and just try and like maneuver it out now.
Davis is like talking through clenched teeth. Yeah,
he's
you're doing great.
He's like sweating because it's just like this is full on.
Nice.
He did it. He freaking did it. I take 1 stress though. Like he is at like 2 stress now.
So at some point we should probably figure out how to relieve stress.
Yeah, because he's like got 1 point of stress left before he dies. So he's like freaking out, and he's almost like he's trying to calm his nerves. He's never done anything like this before. There's blood everywhere. He's not a big fan of blood, and he finally catches like the scalpel on the edge of the bullet and just like pops it out. He's like, oh my god, quick, and he grabs onto some thread and needle, and he's just doing a really shitty job of like just sewing up.
You're doing great.
I'd say it's like 15 minutes easy of getting this done, of just high stress, and it's left him like shaky and sweaty.
But now, mechanically, Davis isn't going to have to roll for infection.
Yeah.
Which
nice.
Could turn fatal otherwise. Thank you for that. Um,
Oh,
I'm just gonna take a moment though, and David's just kind of like half passes out in the back.
Yeah. And Miller is kind of freaking out. Everything that's happened today has him on edge now. He's like, this fucking war, man. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
I've heard that said before, Miller. How about we find a quiet spot, outside of town, and we'll just sleep in the car overnight. What do you reckon?
How's the... So, Christian, you also said something about the rules about petrol.
Yeah. So petrol is 1 unit per hex for our car. Some cars take more petrol, some cars take less. If your car's been converted to use alcohol instead of petrol, which is easier to find, it uses twice as much. Anyway, we had a petrol car. Great. 1 hex is 1 unit of petrol, and we had about 16, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
In cities, though, it counts as 1 unit per kilometer.
Oh,
So it's actually 10 units going through a city.
Oh,
because you're zigzagging and you're stopping
Yeah.
at lights and you're
Yeah.
twirling. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Going through
You're
drive-through.
stopping at Starbucks and
Yeah.
you're just doing laps of the avenues.
Just
Yeah.
getting a little cup and just tipping it out.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've got 6 left then, once we've gone through this. And it's 1 per hex.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it would
We get
metagaming a bit, or
close.
just looking on the map. You can see that 6 would get us to about where we thought the 34th were.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Wilson, keep following the road south and we can pull over south of the city.
Okay. Wilson will roll driving. And
And it turns out driving we only need to roll once per shift.
Nice.
So I made you roll a lot, but you're actually fine. And driving on the road, you get +3.
Oh, dang. So I can click the plus modifier to make it +3, and I include my rate of +1. And I'm going to click the roll button
Boom.
for critical driving success.
You're so drivey.
So good at driving, dude.
So we make our way out of Nemasto uneventfully, and we just find an open road, head south. It's the road that we're thinking of. Not much traffic this time of day. And we make our way south successfully with Davis sleeping in the back. For that roll, can I move more than 1 hex?
I mean, in a shift, this car can move up to 10. But I think the way that we had the encounter and some of the other bits and pieces, this is probably, we'll say that's the end of the last shift, so now in the night shift, where your speed is reduced and there's some other things. And I think we all need to start sleeping before we get exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a quick look as well. And it looks like resting for a full shift gives you a reduction of 1 point of stress.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, yeah.
So Davis is kind of like partially there. And is like, is there like there must be like an abandoned farm or something out here.
Yeah.
Do we
Like a shed we could park into.
do we pull up a hex? A card or anything for a new hex? What do we do on entering a hex?
So each shift you'd roll for
shift.
your encounter.
Okay, cool.
So we're also pulling a lot of encounters when we technically didn't need to, but
Okay, okay, that's been good. Yeah, Miller is like he's exhausted. He doesn't feel like he's done much physically, but he is absolutely mentally exhausted and ready to crash.
What do you say we pull an oracle just to see what kind of shelter we might be able to find?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
10 of clubs. No. This is barren. The trees even are just bombed out. Burnt through. Some fire must have come through at some point. So the cover is is crap. There's very little shelter that we can see other than this open road, open field. We might be able to get some cover in the trees, but this car, it's going to be a bit harder to hide, I think. Oh, why is that saying that is not linked? Okay, something's broken. That's fine. I mean, we still need to pull over.
Yeah.
Let's just do that, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got one back seat, which is a little bit of length we can use to lie down, and just tilt the front seats back a bit and just chill. I think both of you have had a bit rough. I'll take the first watch. An abandoned car in the middle of the highway or off to the edge of this highway. I don't think will attract too much attention. So with any luck on this remote road, we should be okay.
Miller is almost ignoring you guys completely, just with everything that's running through his head. He's not looking good, and he's muttering to himself. He's definitely just in need of a full shift of sleep.
I think as Miller winds out, Wilson winds up, and he's just increasing his word count, like every thought that comes into his brain. He's going, yeah, you know what? Second gears. Now's a good time to go to second gear. Let me tell you a story about when I changed from third to second gear. It was correct. I was driving through, and he just going to talk to himself.
Turning and just trying to like put pillows over or cushions or his jacket over his head to try and drown you out.
Right. So what the game recommends is that we make a survival roll just to see how suitable a kind of spot we can muster up, and then also if we want to be hidden, we make a recon roll after that, just to bash in a window or put up some rubble or some dirt to make the car look more abandoned or whatever it is that we want to be doing.
Right.
For a role like this, are we doing this as a squad, or do we like pick the lowest or the highest of everyone, or just pick a single person for it to be in charge
just
of?
a person who wants to do it, but I mean other people can help.
I don't have a survival rating, so not the best guy.
Wilson will take the survival role. He's driving. He thinks it's up to himself with his comrades in the back.
And Davies is going to help out. Once you find a spot, Davies will be like standing on the road a bit further back and just kind of eyeball it and get some ideas on how we can further cover it.
Nice. So do I click +1 for that?
Yep. I'll give you a hand.
Thank you. Roll out for double fail.
So we still set up a camp and we can sleep. But one of us, whoever wants to be the referee for the situation, will roll on the camp mishap table and see if it's applicable.
Oh, I'll do that. Roll table. And then camp mishaps. I got it.
And whilst we're doing this, though, Davis is going to try and help recon to hide the camp a bit more, just to try and give us a bit of an edge.
All right.
Okay, so the camp, like the car looks abandoned and looks like it should be here, but something potentially has gone wrong setting up the camp.
Nice. So to other humans passing by this, forgotten road in the middle of nowhere, an abandoned car, like what it looks like, is this make and model. It's not a super expensive car. People will just drive past this, no problem. But we smell like humans, and there is a starving animal that thinks that we're worth a crack. And I'm going to roll a d4 to determine what type of animal we've got. It is a 3, which is 1. It's a boar. So a starving boar comes out for us, and we've got some details in the referee's manual.
Now, I feel like you, Wilson, said you were going to take the first shift.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably safe to say that Davis and Miller are we'll be caught unawares if something were to happen.
Yeah, I like the idea that he's just Wilson's awake in the car, kind of like looking around, staying at watch. It's completely dark outside, other than a bit of the moonlight lighting up some of these burnt out trees around us, and you're just hearing now like movement outside the car.
Yeah, I think initially Wilson's gonna not pay as much attention as he should have. Like he's taken a few night shifts before. It's typically pretty uneventful. But eventually it gets to the point where that noise can't be kind of ignored, and he realizes that there's actually something in the near vicinity, and his heart rate starts to pick up a little bit when he realizes it's actually coming closer.
I mean, you can roll a recon yourself just to see how early you notice this.
Let's do that. All right, recon out for a double fail.
Was not taking this seriously.
So, we're out in the wilderness, and the wilderness makes noises sometimes. You don't have to jump at every bird that sounds like a pig in the wilderness at nighttime. And I'm sure that, boars are scared of people, and they're going to be scared of cars and roads and the sky. So it's nothing to worry about.
I mean, it's like what they teach you in Boy Scouts. If it looks like a boar and it sounds like a boar, it's probably a pigeon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just a hamburger in the making. Don't even worry
not
about
even
it.
its final form.
All right, so I've got the specs up for the boar from the referee's manual. Shall we initiate combat with Wilson and boar? How does that work?
I do like the idea that, and you guys can veto this, but I do like the idea of the boar, because I picture like boars can get pretty big and they've got tusks and stuff, right? And I can just imagine just like Wilson's ignoring it. There's just nothing going on, and then just suddenly, boom! Just like the side of the car just gets rammed, and that's like the thing that jolts the vehicle and everyone awake, kind of thing. Almost like a bomb going off.
Yep, I'm down.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
And the sound of the boar hitting the side of the car is the same sound as the initiative sound.
Yeah.
Whoa, no, not that. How do we do that?
Yeah, I've forgotten. There's a specific tab, combat encounters, and we add ourselves encounter 1 of 1. Oh,
we're all done.
Oh, we're all making encounters. Sorry, we just need our little tokens to be added. So I'm just going to drag us onto the map. Oh my God, we're huge.
okay.
We should just walk across Poland. Like we can.
Yeah.
And then you want a boar, do you?
I'm just getting rid of some of these encounters. There we go. So we
Give you boar as well.
click our guy,
Oh yeah, nice.
and
There's a cross swords behind a shield, and you can toggle your combat state. So the
right.
boar wants to fight.
Right.
I'll let you two do it just for practice sake.
Wow.
And we get reason as well.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and we pull cards. Do we just randomly pull a card, or is there an order to?
I mean, I say we go first because we're human. We're just going to change people's names as well.
I just pulled a card, so I got an initiative of 6.
Cool. All right, Wilson's got 5. He's quite relieved. He's only a slightly bit more alert than old Miller.
Oh, Davis up with a jolt when that thing went off.
And the boar at 3.
So we're going to begin the old combat, I reckon.
Yeah.
But truth be told, because Davis, suddenly was asleep, was sleeping off this wound, and I think not enough time has elapsed for anyone to recover a point of health or relieve a point of stress.
Yeah, I agree.
We'd have to rest for this whole thing. So Davis is just shaken awake, and because of that, I don't think Davis has enough presence to act on this round. So I'm going to skip my turn. I was caught unawares. So after you, boar.
You pulled the card, Reese, so
Alright.
you control the boar.
Okay, so the boar is absolutely starving. This war and the explosions and all of the madness, going around in this area has just ruined his normal state of life, and he's just smashing into the car door. The first impact, which woke us up, damaged the passenger side, dented the metal, scrubbed everything up, and at the reaction of us all inside and jolting awake, he knows there is something in there. He's been grubbing into bushes and underneath rocks and stuff. He knows how to pry out some wormies out of a can. So he's gonna try and attack the car with the old strength, I guess.
It's got some kind of attacky button. I'm going to try and find the stats for the car.
I've got a strength button I can roll. Does his tusks count as heavy weapons?
I hope not.
I hope not. They're grenades, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. We can relax.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to click strength, and we'll compare that against the car. He fails. Our two-wheel drive car made of metal is still a car.
How does the ball work? Do they have like?
So I just looked. It doesn't actually have a close combat stat. It just would roll its d6 to try and attack.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Terrible at close combat. Terrible.
But give it a rifle and hooey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think if you're outside the car and that thing came at you, that would still not be great.
It's like grenades. Grenades are fine if you're wearing armor, but if you're not wearing armor, they are the opposite of fine. Not fine.
Okay, so we'll say that's the boar's turn.
Mm-hmm.
He just smashes repeatedly into the side of the car. Structural integrity remains sound.
Oops, I just screwed up with that.
And we are certainly all awake. Did you click a button to complete your turn?
I
did. The
arrow. The little arrow. Yep. I've screwed up my token something chronic, so I'm just going to.
Which little arrow?
this one. In combat and then the right arrow.
There you go.
Where'd you find it?
Next to end combat at the bottom, there's like a forward arrow.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're figuring this out.
All right. Okay, so as a free action, Wilson could be like, guys, there's a big piggy outside. What do we do? Do we just drive away? Or we shoot it? And he's just going to stutter and very poorly describe what's going on around him and get rattled in the middle of his explanation as the second impact hits the car. So he's going to forfeit his fast and slow action just to narrate the scene poorly.
Miller is in a similar position to Davis. It's only been like 20 minutes or something since he closed his eyes, but he'd quickly had gone into deep sleep. So he just reaches and just grabs the knife at his side, sitting in the car, stiff and wide-eyed, almost shell-shocked, trying to figure out what's happening. He sees everyone sort of relatively calm, but it's the same with Miller. He's just going to spend his turn, trying to figure out what's going on.
Right, back to Davis. Davis is now, thanks to the narration and the further tusking of the ball, which is on the passenger side, which is probably where Davis is. Training kicks in. Going to reach over. Wilson had the pistol, didn't they?
Yeah.
So going to reach over and grab that and start firing out the window, which is going to be loud as hell. But so fast action to grab, slow action to shoot without aiming. And what gun is that? Combat pistol. Oh, I'm just gonna. drag it over
Yep.
to myself. Oh wow, it actually does drag. That's awesome. What is that warning thing? Combat. Is it magazine? Yep. There's a magazine in it. So just generate. There we go. Right. So -1 because without aiming. Bam! Out the window.
Nice. That was
I
two
mean-
successes.
It makes sense if that boar has just run up and smashed into the side window and then kind of backed up a little bit and then just sticking it out the window. Those big haunches are sitting there and just like fires off around straight through. How much damage does it do? Damage 1, but 2 successes, so 2 damage on this wee boar. I don't know how much health it has.
3 total.
Oh, nice.
Does it have a coolness under fire? Is this enough to... I don't know much about boars.
Yeah, is
I
this
mean, I
gonna
know nothing
freak it
about war
out?
either, but is this enough to scare it off?
Does it get stress and die?
Yeah.
Is it a little piggy heart attack?
Oh, well, now I feel bad.
But it
Shooting it,
doesn't-
I was okay with, but a little piggy heart attack?
It doesn't have a coolness under fire rating. The max HP is 3, so we've reduced it from a perfectly healthy starving boar to mostly dead.
Yeah.
If I was a boar, I don't know, like what do boars do?
That I reckon with like with the searing pain running through it, it'll try and escape, but with two of its front legs like shot up, it might like stumble and try and get away, but very slowly.
Should we oracle it if it's gonna, be so starving that it's just gonna go ham, or it's gonna turn into actual ham? Yeah, I'm gonna click the oracle. It's the Queen of Hearts. Very helpful. So perhaps as the first shot impacts it into its haunch, it's startled and it shakes its head as the second shot into the top of its head.
Yep.
None of the meat is tarnished by the gunshot, and it just skids to a stop outside the door of the vehicle. It smells like bacon.
Instantly smells like that. I thought
Instantly.
when you said it was like super helpful, I was like, oh, the ball is going to start get us to our landing zone. Our LZ. Great. Perfect.
It's got a little harness and we can strap to the front of the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
He's like,
No petrol
I've actually got heaps of extra petrol, guys.
Did I say
Yeah.
bore? I meant petrol container.
yeah.
Ears ringing. Davis is going to give the pistol back to Wilson.
Thanks. Sorry, guys. With the, I thought, yeah.
Everyone okay?
Miller's just like trying to like breathe through, just waking up in that way.
Yeah. I'll put it in the boot, guys. You guys just take a rest. This one was on me. Sorry. Yeah.
Davis is going to step out, and now that they've stepped out of this little two-wheel drive car, they actually have the room to maneuver an M16. And so we'll just have a quick scan of the area, but seeing everything quiet, it's like, I mean, yeah, if you've got this, then, yeah, wake me up for my shift.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Gets back in.
Wilson's gonna roll strength to lift up this boar. Boars aren't small,
No.
so I'm gonna give myself a -1 to try and get this boar into the boot of the vehicle. Oh,
Hey.
but Wilson, he read quite a few introduction to lifting heavy object, HR policies, before he got drafted.
All in the knees.
He doesn't use the crane technique.
Yeah.
He uses his quads, and it takes a bit of time, like maybe 15 minutes, but he eventually drags the boar over lifts it up just onto the back, pops the boot, and dumps it into the back, and spends maybe 30 minutes recovering from that physical exercise, and then eventually sneaks back into the vehicle, gently closes the door to try and not rouse his sleeping beauties, and just keeps one hand on the hilt of his pistol as he surveys the moonlight around him.
Yeah, Miller fast asleep.
Yeah. Davis also, excitement over, heart rate slowing, drifts off.
All right. Oh, click end combat. I think we're done.
Nice.
Should we roll for time?
Yeah. How does this work?
Well, we can say that was mechanically. It's like that was the event that happened during the shift. Oh no, it might not be the event that happened during the shift. You can also pull a stationary event card, or roll on the stationary event table, I believe it is, and that might tell you if something happens or not.
I can do this one.
Please no, honestly, that'd be great.
Stationary event.
Roll on table, is it somewhere? Stationary encounter, maybe encounter station.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, because that was a camping mishap rather than the shift encounter. So
Don't roll anything.
It says draw an encounter normally.
okay, so draw an encounter card now, and if it has the little fireplace symbol on it, it might occur, but otherwise it doesn't.
It does not. It's no.
Yes,
We're good.
It's actually uneventful.
Yeah, it is uneventful.
So with a shift of rest, anyone who is resting, so that would be Davis and Miller, can relieve 1 hit capacity and 1 stress capacity.
Okay, just the stress for Miller.
And just the hit capacity for Davis.
Ah,
Nice.
yeah, the yang. So good. All right, maybe the sun starts to pop up. Some stabs of light fill the car, and try as Wilson might to try and block the sun from both of your eyes, just to give you a few more minutes of rest. The sun makes its way up, and daylight is upon us.
Yes. Miller wakes. He's no smile on his face this morning. He's still pretty he's well rested, but he's still thinking about yesterday, just the events of yesterday, still running through his mind, and sort of nods to you, Wilson, gives you a pat on the chest for looking after us, and he sort of opens up the car just to get out and stretch his legs and stretch his back. Pulls this little nub of a toothbrush out of his top pocket, a little swill of clean water, and just kind of brushes his teeth as he just looks out towards the scanning the horizon.
Wilson, seeing that Miller is up and about, is going to pop the car door open and sprint maybe 10 meters and then just take a whiz.
Yeah.
And then, very relieved, slowly walk back to the car. All right, guys. Sorry again about that whole, night murder creature thing, but we've got something to barter with the locals again, so
Yeah.
Perhaps we can make that a win.
Do we? What's the deal on how often we have to eat and drink?
Every day, unless if you don't eat and drink every day, then you stop you stop regaining health when you rest.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
So we all share a breakfast.
Yeah, I think so. Well, one of those little ones where they've got a little fold out thing with a little bit of flame they can put underneath and heat up their rations on. Just trying to have little special breakfast just to try and forget yesterday.
Yeah. I suppose I can grab a ration off and a drink off someone.
Yeah,
Gave mine away to those guys back.
yeah, I've got a couple. And Wilson will reduce his field ration count from 3 to 1.
Oh, then Miller sees sort of you pulling out your rations. He's like, "Oh, we're good. I brought extra."
Sorry, I deleted it from my character sheet. I don't know how to put it back. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
How about clean water though, Miller? What have you got? I've got 2 bottles left.
I've got like 4. I got
Oh,
plenty.
yeah. Okay, let's drink your water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as clean.
Yeah. And he passes. This is after he's had his as well, so he's passing some over to both of you. So he's going to give. Let's not touch yours yet, Wilson.
Okay.
And he hands out clean water to both of you guys.
Yeah, and Davis has got the map out on the hood of the car. It's just like, okay, so hold on. We're in Namensloy. That we're there. And then so we must be around here now. So I mean we could probably get this done in a day. Like what are we like for petrol, Wilson?
Yeah, the little needle which points to how much money you have to put in to fill it up again is looking like it's running pretty low. How about this? You guys do your army thing, and I'll sleep in the back.
That's fair.
Yeah. And we should. Yeah, as you say, Davis, we can't be too far. Like, I can almost smell Germany from here. It'll be fine.
Davis looks over at Miller though, and Miller's still got that 1,000-yard stare going. I mean, it looks like we could do this. We'd be there by lunch, but maybe we just take another moment here, just to gather ourselves. Like you rest, and Miller, you know what, you take it easy as well for it. I'll keep watch.
Why don't you just drive while we're resting, Davis? Right?
Yep.
We can do that. See if because I just want to get to the 34th. I just want to get this. Yeah.
Yep. Fair. Yep. Okay. I'll drive you guys. Take it easy. I'll wake you if anything happens.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Why does the boot smell like shit?
Yeah.
Opens up. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
That's where Wilson.
There's no porta potties, guys. So I'm a responsible camper. I mean, if you take it with you internally, you gotta. No, I won't finish that sentence.
Leave only footprints. Okay.
Cool. So it's a shift to move to another hex, right?
Yeah. So if we were marching, we could do 1 hex per shift.
Oh,
but because this car can do 10 shifts per hex.
Oh shit. Okay. I see why you were suggesting taking a shift.
Yeah, because I figured we had a spare one.
Okay, maybe you're right then. So you're right. I forgot that the car goes faster than walking. I totally forgot that.
I'm just thinking, Miller, because we knew that the third group were the third Soviet group or whatever it is, guards were in this area. So I mean, if anything happens and if they've wandered our way, I'd prefer that you're at on top of your game there.
He just gets a little defensive. I'm always on top of my game, but come on, Davis, you know that. But
I think you got a score to settle, so just want to make sure you get to settle that properly.
How's the shoulder?
I mean, actually, pretty good. I mean, maybe I'll teach you how to do a bit more next time. But if you ever get tired of lugging around that saw, then maybe we can train you up.
And he's already getting into the seat and putting the seat into sort of like a lean back position and getting ready for another sleep. He's like, what's that? Like 4 hours, is it? How long is a shift?
5-6 hours.
5-6 hours. All right. We'll see you.
So it's about maybe 5 in the morning at the moment. So would say this would maybe take us to lunch, closer to lunch.
Okay, cool. All right, he's going to take another sleep. Wilson, come join me.
I'll take all the back seat, thanks. But you enjoy that seat by yourself.
He's patting his lap.
Maybe 30 seconds into the sleep, Wilson will just start snoring really obnoxiously. Like erratically too, not the rhythmical snoring that you could probably kind of just drown out. Like really enthusiastic, like he's spending more energy than gaining by resting. But maybe after about 20 minutes, he dozes off into a more slumbersome sleep.
I think seeing those two are asleep, Davis is going to keep an eye out. So I'm just going to roll a recon before I roll any kind of encounters or anything like that. Cool. So if something does happen, he's not going to know until the last minute mechanically. Because I think what's actually happening is he's keeping an eye out, and it's like, I mean, there's nothing here, and we're close to our lines, so it's probably not too bad. But this boar, I mean, I might try and just lessen the weight a bit, and just try and dress it a bit, carve it up, so gets out from the back and is just taking it apart for the meat, which is a actual thing of hunting.
Oh wow!
A boar can do 2d6 times 2 food.
Oh, cool.
So it does. He manages to carve off 8 bits of food.
Yeah, cool.
Kind of like packages them up and as best he can. Gets most of the corpse out. But I am just going to draw an encounter card or a stationary card.
Butchery event. Yes, please.
Sausage making. Roll on table. Choose table.
I do like the system in this game that you can use the cards like Ace of Clubs and Hearts and whatever to make into any sort of encounter card that you feel the need to apply. It makes it pretty versatile.
It's got a similar thing in another Free League game called Vaesen, which is a supernatural mystery type one. And so they've got the same kind of thing. You draw a card, and red cards tend to be better, black cards tend not to be so good. So hopefully I've got this set up as a private roll just to surprise you guys if anything happens. Oh, I rolled the same table twice, so just tells me to roll properly. Cards. Counters cards. Surely that's the one. I don't know why it's there about 4 times.
Moj in the chat says stationary encounter sausage fest. Look at all these sausages, and look what Davis is doing.
So next thing you guys know, Davis just kind of like gives you a tap, like, "Hey, guys, I think it's time to go." But I know we just had
checking his watch and stuff. Is like, how much time has passed?
I mean, the sun's pretty high. It's probably. I mean, wait, I got to watch. Yeah, it's lunch, man.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys.
That one passed way faster. I felt like I'd barely closed my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no offense, great job getting the boar into the boot. I just kind of cut some meat off it though, and I've buried the rest of it. Hopefully, we won't leave too much of a sign that we've been here. But yeah, maybe we get on the road again. And so, if you guys remember, you can tick off a point of health and stress.
Yeah, cool. Miller is actually feeling pretty good now. He's feeling more like himself now.
Yeah, Wilson recovered nicely in that stretch of rest, so he's all fit and mentally ready to go.
Should get back on the road then.
Let's do it.
You get to drive.
Yeah. Did I tell you about that time where I thought I was going to go from third to fourth, but I just stayed in third for a little bit longer?
That's
I like
great.
it.
That's definitely a
Miller is like loves that story.
So I don't need to re-roll again, or shall I re-roll? 'Cause it's a different
So
shift.
we're effectively now at the beginning of a new shift. So we'll do a driving roll for the shift, and then we'll also do an encounter. But also, pitching this past you two, we're coming up to a bridge. So I figure like a bridge feels like a place where something might happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Definitely.
cool.
But if you want to get your driving roll at +3 to start with,
ding ding ding.
Miller's like
And
looking at the
plus
map,
one.
and he's aware that there's like the only way to get to where we need to go is a bridge.
Yeah. All right. After that sleep, he's ready. He's looking at the road this time. Both hands, 10 and 2. He remembers his lessons as a little mate, and he's got a success on his driving roll.
Nice.
hey, Wilson, up ahead, we're coming up to a bridge into Burzig. But
Yeah.
we're coming up to a bridge. Maybe we should pull off before we get there, just to make sure nothing's
To relieve some stress, or
Sure.
yeah, I think that's a good idea, Davis. I don't remember much from that military induction, but bridges, yeah, that's a strangle point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, guys, just mechanically, for when I rolled for an encounter, it was roll normally, but then it wasn't a card that had a campsite. So
Brzeg.
I just for the you guys wouldn't have heard that, but the listeners would have heard. I clicked on the pronunciation sound for brzeg.
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 It's got a really it's like a brzeg.
Ah,
Brzeg.
Brzeg.
I can't. Wow, I
Brzeg.
can't.
Yeah.
Brzeg.
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 With an apology.
check. I like the 3 consonants in a row.
Yeah.
Brzeg.
Okay.
All right.
So Wilson will turn the keys off, stretch his wrists. All right, guys, we're within sort of decent spotting distance of this bridge. How do we tackle it? We just boost it, or maybe something more coherent.
I mean, Davis will have a scan just whilst we're here.
Because we can see the town of Brzeg just behind the bridge as well.
I mean, oh God, once we're over there, that's the home stretch. Davis is kind of distracted, just thinking we're that close to getting back.
Yeah. Wilson's going to sort of start to celebrate almost. Like, nice work, Davis. Like, we're pretty much nearly there. Every time maybe Davis looks around to actually look at something. Oh, look, this is the last bridge. Like, these are our lines.
It's crazy to think that just like a couple of days ago, we were up in Calais and it all went to shit. But we made it this far.
Yeah. Nice work, Miller, as well. High five. And he's going to put the high five like in front of Miller's vision.
Just like this big, meaty hand. Thanks for getting us this far, Wilson.
Yeah. Whew.
He's
It's,
very
just-
hands-on. Wilson, Miller's he's not one of those standoffish guys. He's if he's gonna crack a joke, he's one of those people that holds on to you while he laughs and tells the joke kind of thing. So he's like, bam, and he grabs your hand. He's just like, yeah, and he pats you again on the chest as he's like, thanks so much, little guy.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to draw an oracle card about this bridge?
I would love to. Roll.
You want to do it as a private roll?
How do you do it private?
So when you click on roll on table, number of rolls 1, you can click the private button next to it before you hit roll.
Oracle cards. So I'm just going oracle cards, yeah?
Yep. And then you can use your imagination on how it goes.
Bridge monster.
Roll under the bridge. Let's go.
Yeah, there is up ahead, like as we get closer to the bridge, some of the things that we've all sort of seen and mistaken as like wrecks or like vehicles that have like there's been vehicles that have been abandoned all over the roads and all throughout fields throughout our drives across the section of Poland, and on the bridge it looks like more of the same until we see there's like movement, not kind of hidden, just like movement, and it looks like there is a decent like military convoy now that we get close enough, a legitimate convoy, and it doesn't state exactly what it is more than that, but I'm going to say that the third have made their way down here before it got here before us. If it wasn't for the fact that we had slept for so long, maybe we could have beaten them here. But on the bridge is the third group. Brzeg.
Yeah, accurate.
So there's another one way of looking at this is, okay, so we've gotten within sight that we can see there's a military convoy. There's a good chance the military convoy might have seen us. We can either Oracle deck it again to see how good or bad the situation is, or there's just a thing called a lucky dice, which is 1, it's catastrophe, 2, 3, it's no, 4, 5 is yes, and 6 is extreme yes.
Lucky
so we could
dice.
say, did they see us, and roll a d6.
Let's do that. We haven't
Let's
lucky
do that.
dice so
Yeah.
far this session, eh? Or
Correct.
this
I think so.
campaign.
I think we've done one, but let's go for another.
Do I have a luck? Oh, roll a lucky dice. Here we go. Roll a lucky dice. So did they see us? And it says no. Did that pop up for everyone to see?
Yeah.
It did,
That's
it
it.
did.
Okay, so we've noticed them, but they haven't noticed us. And I think
it's because they've come in the same sort of... They've come in from the north, so they're all heading towards Brzeg. And so we're behind them from this point of view, yeah.
Wilson, pull over! Pull over!
Okay. Look, Polish guys. Like, is that what I... That's not our guys, right? Like, I don't remember those vehicles. Tell me it's our guys.
That looks Soviet.
They are Soviet. So I've brought up the details of this military unit.
Mm-hmm.
It says 150 of them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it might not be that all
And 2
150
combat
are here.
vehicles. Right. Yeah. Okay. They'd have to have a good reason to split, though. Maybe they've gone. Maybe they've gone to cover the 2 bridges into this part of Poland. You know.
I feel like maybe they're trying to flank the 34th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, who would
Yeah.
expect them to come off from Rocklaw Bridge? But now they're coming out Brzeg.
Brzeg. Yeah, cool. It says they've got like parachutes with them.
Oh, they were a paratroop.
Yeah.
unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 2 combat vehicles in the full group. So, what do you think the whole group, or do you reckon they've left some up the north just to as a distraction?
Left their
Lucky
weapons up.
die or Oracle. Just all the unarmed, injured people are coming down this way. The ones that can't see.
Yeah.
It says 150 out of 1450. So is that 150 are in front of us, or just there is a portion of the 150 there?
I believe it implies that of the 1450 the 3rd Spetsnaz would have, there's only 150 of them alive. Because don't forget, we're like 10 years into a war at the moment.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, you look at the 34th. Oh, it's actually got 1,700 people in it. So these guys are daring.
I mean, yeah. So this is good. This will be like their desperate last push, I guess, maybe.
Oh, unless it... Oh, hold on. Seeing them here and then just thinking back to the map, it's like, what if they're trying to link in with the 11th tank?
Oh, they're
division.
heading south to join up.
Yeah,
Or maybe the
yeah.
11th tank division
makes-
is from north.
That makes... I think it makes way more sense that this group has been like most of them, they were like a tenth of what they started with. They were dropped down, they were parachuted down, they got like taken on by probably the Silesian Corps to the north, and they're now just heading down south to join up with the tank squad so they can. Yeah, I think.
Can
That's
I
good.
lucky dice to see if the 11th are coming north to
Sure.
attack the 34th? Okay, so the question is, have the 11th tank division moved north to say this crossroad, maybe? Extreme, no. Oh, okay, no. Okay, so yeah, I go with your third group is heading south.
to join up. Yeah. Someone in chat, Am I Failey, is asking what period is this set in? This is like year 2000, right?
Yep.
There we go. Moja's just chucked it in chat as well. Alternate reality, World War III. So it's we're currently in Poland.
Yeah, history splits at 1991. The Soviet Union never falls, and then fast forward 10 years of war on the continent, and you find our 3 people stuck behind enemy lines.
So I think the more that we're sitting back and just watching, we're realizing that they are just moving along the bridge. This 2 combat vehicles and 150 troops just making their way south on that road. And they are moving slow. They're moving it as fast as their slowest would move, which I assume is 1 hex per shift.
Yep. So we are pretty much, if we're going to park up and wait for them to pass, that's going to be a full shift. So I'd say.
Well, they're on the bridge, so they're ahead of us. I just couldn't put this on the bridge.
But just waiting for the coast to be clear, for instance.
Yeah. So it'll take a full shift for them to continue down that road.
Yeah.
Does movement through cities on foot also take much longer?
I didn't see rules saying that, but then again, I find rules everything. There's actually a whole nother expansion called Urban Operations, which I bought and a long time ago. And so that deals specifically with the going-ons in cities. So if you don't want this big world map, you can just say what's happening in
That's really
Kepno,
cool.
and the whole thing can be set there.
That's awesome.
Gotcha.
I should really read it at some point.
I really like the sound of that. That'd be super cool.
Ties in with that thing that we talked about earlier and don't want to share with everyone.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I don't think we should run it. Like, I don't think we should try and drive through their ranks pretending that we're Russians. I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, I said that out loud. Don't worry.
I think that's a good idea don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I was going to reverse the car, but I think then they might see us. Should we just sit here?
Yeah, we just gotta be as still as we can.
Yep. I mean, the car's pulled off into... it's a partial forest heat, so I think we would have pulled off into the trees, and we're just waiting. And truth be told, Miller, if you want to take another break...
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. He's kind of like keeping an eye out. Just he can. I think. Can we? I might just do a recon. He's just going to see if he can see where like these guys came through. Combat engineer. I think that's a modify to tech rolls. That's not a tech roll. Oh wait, is it recon? No, it's in. No. Okay, cool. Just gonna roll that. Nah, he was looking to see if he could see any kind of path that they had taken through, but it doesn't seem to. They've done a very good job of hiding their tracks as they've come through, either because they've done a good job or he just can't see it.
Davis is actually going to get out of the car and move just a little bit further along, just to give us a bit of a wider field of control there. So we're not just one target, but close enough that he could dash back to the car if we need to make a quick getaway. But he's just going to hunker down low, prop up behind a tree maybe with the M16, and just wait this out.
Wilson's going to have one hand on the keys in the ignition. At a moment's notice, he's going to just visualize himself driving away gallantly Not cowardly, gallantly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Miller's just gonna like his training's kicked in. He's like, what the fuck? He gets out of the car. He's going very slowly, and he's just setting up his saw on top of the sort of car, just so he can sight them up, and he's just tracking them, just if anything goes wrong. And I think it's just going to be a very intense shift as we watch them walking away. Do we pull a card? Do we make a roll? What do we do?
well, I mean, we're all the referee. We can make any call we like. But I'm just wondering. I feel I might just do a coolness under fire test for Davis because yes, we're in a good position. They're not looking at us, but at the same time, that's 150 Spetsnaz just over that bridge.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's quite potentially stressful. Let's see how much the military training. But, his boys are there. Boys. So I'm going to use the unit morale. Yep.
Easy.
Nice.
Double success.
And that is from the unit morale. So it is, the heart rate was going up and then it's like, no, you know what? We've got the fields of fire. The saw's sitting there ready. Wilson's ready with the car.
You see
We need to get
Miller
out.
just like confident and focused. Yeah.
All right. With his comrades both outside the car, Wilson's going to roll coolness under fire as well with the unit morale. He's been through some stressful times, but none of them are in the car. Like, I'm the only one in here in my own war in Poland. Why can't I be in the meeting room with everyone else? Do I gain stress damage? How does that work?
I reckon just take a point of stress. Like,
Are you wearing your brown pants?
I know. That smell is the boar, I swear.
Oh. Okay, I've added right click, left click. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Wilson is freaking out. He's just recalling that there was 4 or 5 bad guys at the gas station, and that hurt a lot. There's 150 of them over there. Yeah, this is closer to battle than he would like to be.
The difference between a bunch of marauders who are making the best of an opportunity versus, hardened Soviet soldiers.
Yeah.
Paratroopers. Yeah, do we want to draw a oracle? I mean, I kind of don't, because if we don't, then nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
yeah. And what are we going to do against 150? Probably not a whole bunch. I was thinking if we pull the card, then it's kind of like the chances of like maybe a few of the stragglers are still making their way through.
And I guess the severity, if it's a bad card, might imply how.
Yeah. Roll for straggle.
Who wants to roll?
You got us here, Reagan, so
You want me to roll?
go on.
I'm gonna roll a.
Holy.
I'm gonna an oracle or a lucky die. You reckon?
Oracle gives you more flavor, I reckon.
Okay, all right, shit. All right.
Because oracle means that something good might happen that we can try and work with.
I'm gonna roll it privately.
Yep.
Re-roll it.
It's private. Oh, what do you know? It's the ace of diamonds. It's really good.
Yeah, there's a small group. It's just like, it's like 3. So it's like a medic, with a couple of injured guys, but they are armed, and we're just seeing them now coming through that tree line. So they're quite a distance from that other group. They're closer to us than we are to that other group. And I'm going to roll a lucky die to see if they spot us. So I'm going to say...
Yes, not an unlucky die. It's going to be a lucky die.
yeah. Do any of them spot us? Oh, no, they don't.
I'm gonna roll a recon to see if Davis notices them,
Oh, actually, yeah. Because
or whether it's going to be a matter of like they don't notice us just as we notice them, type thing.
Sure. I think with a roll of no on that lucky die, by the way, is that they don't notice us yet.
Yep.
Like, if they just continue the path they're taking, they will absolutely eventually spot us. They just haven't yet.
Yep. So 2 successes. Davis does notice them in time, just scanning around, but then you always check your 6, and so spins back from where they came, and then all of a sudden like does catch this bit of movement, searches around, finds a pine cone, and just hifts it over to Miller. He's just like,
oh, and he just like slowly like moves the saw, like pivots it over towards the group of 3. Shit.
Wilson's gonna roll recon to see if he notices them noticing.
Yeah, of course. You're in the car just freaking out at the
He's in the car. He's not aware at all. Like, he's regaling some human resources stories to himself to just calm himself down.
Yeah.
Always remember performance and then do the smart goals.
You notice like something, like Davis picks up and throws something back towards Miller, but you just kind of like just go back to straight back to your stuff.
We've been doing this for the Yep. And then Wilson stays alive. Okay.
Fuck. Okay, so what kind of distance? So how big is a hex? It's 1
so hex
kilometer?
is 10k.
Oh, it's 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys are like way off in the distance.
Potentially. The rest of them might be quite a ways away.
I'd say like the ones we saw them still on the bridge, right? And that's like on the edge of the 2 hexes. So even if we stopped at like the middle of the hex, it's still like 2.5 kilometers. I'd say we've maybe like Miller's gonna listen out for the sound of just any kind of gunshots going off. So I might just do a recon on that one. He wants to, if he has to let loose with any bullets, he wants to time it with any kind of barrage that he hears, which is totally how war works. All right, so he's listening out successfully. I think that means what he does. He can still hear, like, there's still gunfire happening in somewhere, and you can just sort of like off on the outskirts of what he can hear. And I think he's just gonna like sight them up with his. I think what he's gonna do, he's gonna wait until the last moment, the moment where there's any recognition that we're there, and it's just gonna be this tense, like, standoff as they're walking at like 4 kilometers an hour. It's a slow walk, right? As they're making their way, they've got their guns still. They're still holding on to their guns. One of them maybe has it on their back, but the other two are still holding on to their assault rifles. And it's like 10 minutes of just like tense, sighting them up. The finger is on the trigger, ready to go, and then just like the medic like looks over and sees the car, Davis and Miller, and I think Miller's just gonna like squeeze that trigger.
Screw it.
So I reckon we'll go into another combat.
Yeah.
But we have surprise on them.
So is it the same as like Dragonbane where I just get like the number 1 card? I just get...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'll just drag us onto the map again.
And some soldiers.
Let's get some corset Soviets to put into these
in
seats.
corsets. Oh, dang.
Hot.
How about we do
All right, I've added you
a
guys.
couple of Soviet soldiers and a Soviet officer, maybe, to count for the medic.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Do we just add them all as one onto the combat, or do we add them all individually?
Um,
Let's add them individually. There's only 3
Yeah.
of them.
I can. We
Only.
just clip that for famous last words in about 3 of them.
Yeah. All right. So let's draw initiative, I guess.
Can I self-impose a negative to my initiative?
I'd rather not any more deficits if possible. I think initiative is just initiative. You hear,
Okay.
basically you'll hear like the first gunshot.
Yeah, true. Okay, cool. All right. Wilson has drawn a 6.
Do you want to get those Soviets? I'll just change our ones to
Sure.
1.
Oh, well, we can just pretend ours are 1 for this round. If you
Yeah.
don't want to.
I mean, we're effectively
fuss.
1 anyway.
Yeah. All right. Miller's gonna squeeze the trigger on the M249. Ooh, shit. Rate of fire. He's just like squeezing that out. He's just shooting. Do we have any sort of modifiers? What's the deal there?
I mean, you were aiming.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
aiming.
actually, there is a rule around doing ambushes, which I can look up real quick.
This
Okay.
isn't a carbine. What's a carbine? I don't know my guns.
It's it's kind of like a small assault rifle.
Right, okay. So, because I get a +1 modifier if I'm using either an assault rifle or a carbine submachine gun, but not a big boy.
Ambush. Here we go. Automatically get number 1 thing. If blah blah blah. Group ambushes. Blah blah. Okay, no, there's nothing in there.
So just +1 from aiming. Is that right?
Yeah. So, well, it's no negative because you were aiming.
Oh, okay. So no modifier then, I guess. Just is that right?
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Cool.
Oh,
That's a hit to the
Nice.
legs, and I've got 2 bullets, which I will do. That means I can do extra damage.
yeah. So you've got 2 hits plus you can do 2 more damage, or you can spread it.
No, he's just aiming for like, I don't want to say the medic, but he's aiming for the medic.
He's aiming for them. Wow.
Alright.
Can we clip that as well?
So that's
War
what.
crimes.
So, can you just run through what I'm seeing in the chat there, just so I can understand? Because it's got like obviously the 2 bullets. It says ammo 2, and then it's got
Yep.
the 2, and that's the 2 bullets. Is that what that
So-
stands for?
What's happened is, the 2 is the hits that you got on your ammo dice. So you've actually used ammo spent 29 rounds.
Okay.
That was a big old burn.
Yeah.
And with 2 successes plus 2 additional damage from your ammo dice, if that's the way you want to spend it,
Mhm.
You've ostensibly cut the legs out from underneath this guy.
It's 4 damage
check
to
the
his
gear.
legs.
He's not wearing armor on his legs. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
So you've done 4 damage, which is... Oh, wait, no. What's the damage on the saw? It's already 2, isn't it?
Let's have a quick squiz. Damage is 2.
Okay, so 2 plus 1 for the extra success on your roll. So 3 plus 2 for the extra 2 hit dice.
5 damage.
For 5.
Nice.
He has 5 health.
Okay, so like Miller just squeezes that trigger the moment that he's noticed, and he's forgotten. He's hoping that it was timed well with any other gunfire that was happening in the area, and just and it just like cuts through this guy's legs. He just drops to the ground, broken.
Like
Can you
a
give us a
saw.
D10 roll as well?
A what roll? Sorry,
A D10.
just a random D10.
Just a random D10.
Okay. Oh, not 2 of them, just 1. Roll. It's a 1. Everybody
so,
loves a
just-
1.
Because you did more than 3 damage, which I believe is the critical damage
Ah.
for a saw, it'll be on the thing somewhere.
Oh. Crit is 3. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So you did a critical hit on this poor chap, and you have done. Can I send this out? Anyway, it is So for extra flavor, when you were shooting him, you also crushed his toes.
Okay. I mean, I like his legs just got severed with bullets, and his body, his torso, just landed on his toes and crushed his toes. So he didn't even really feel the crushed toes, but they are crushed.
Seems low on his priority list at that point.
Yeah.
So he's out.
He suffers -1 to mobility.
Dead. Look at that.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Davis is next.
Yep. So Davis is just going to pop a single round, more controlled shot at the other ones. He's also been aiming, so he's not going to get -1, and he's got rifleman as his speciality.
Nice.
Nice. So 1 success with an M16, which does 2 damage. So 2 damage to the arms of. I'm just going to do the one on the left here.
Do what every good military man does. The good old eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I swear it's military grade.
And we're going to give this guy a coolness under fire test.
Ah, yes.
Ah, cool. Moj, it's not that gruesome.
Cut a man in half with 29 bullets. It's fine. Yep, and that is Davis.
Okay, and we go to well, it's definitely not the dead soldier's turn. It's Wilson in the seat.
Right.
He's just heard like bullets just like ring out.
Yeah.
Well,
Wilson-
freaking out, obviously, is he's also freaking out that he doesn't want that group of 150 soldiers to know he's here.
Yeah. Wilson isn't in a good mental headspace, and as soon as all the bullets erupt, he's just going to start the car. His hands was already on the ignition.
Yeah.
And he's just kicked the engine alive. So as his fast and his slow action, he's going to start the car and then try and start it again. Like, you know how when you just and then fumble and look outside to his mates and swear in human resources language. And then eventually he's going to turn the car off again. So he's going to essentially tank his entire turn.
Okay.
Just stressing out. Over to Soviet soldier Uno.
Which is the injured one.
What's he gonna do? I guess he's just seen as the medic of his small group, just killed, just absolutely cut down. Grabs his rifle and aims it towards. Well, I guess he got injured as well. What did he get? He got shot in the arm.
He got shot in the arms.
I guess it's a good old-fashioned military eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I guess. I'd say Miller's probably the most covered by the car, like because he's got the saw up on the car and he's under a bit more cover, so it's probably going to take a shot at Davis.
Yep. Davis also the one that shot him. Natural reaction to spin around from where that.
Yeah. All right, he's going to fire, and again, he's just going to use all of his shots.
So Davis has got some cover.
So what's that? What did we have to do for that?
How
again?
did we decide?
Added to your armor, right?
Davis is only in partial cover, so that one is the one that. It adds to your adds to your armor.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And he's like behind a tree.
Do we give him a -1 modifier for having like damaged arm?
Yeah. Totally.
Can do. Yeah. We're referees.
Yeah. It makes sense.
He'd been shot in the arm and firing a rifle.
It's still a success though.
Roll again.
I was meant to do -2 or 3.
I forgot to accept my one earlier, so accept that.
Oh yeah, cool. I forgot as well. So he's done a single success to Davis's torso.
+1 for his bullet.
So, and that's a damage. He normally does damage of 2.
So it would be damage of 3.
Yeah.
The terrain. There's a button somewhere which says the cover in the terrain that we're in. Combat and damage. Terrain barriers. No, terrain and hexes. This is woodsy.
It is woodsy.
Yeah.
So cover of 2 for forest.
Does it? But that means they should have had cover for 2 when we were firing on them as well, right?
Okay. How about we would have waited until they were open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were walking along, whereas we entrenched down. So how about we'll split the difference to cover of 1.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just give them the benefit of the doubt on this. And hitting the torso, so he's also got a flak jacket. So that absorbs 1 of the damage, which still leaves 1, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 1. I'm going to roll a d6 to see whether the flak jacket has copped it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just remember that Wilson doesn't actually have
Oh,
the
shit.
jacket. It was on a 6 that it was destroyed, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, totes.
Definitely not.
He says checking the rules.
Definitely. Whatever you rolled, it wasn't that one.
That's a pink one.
Yeah.
I feel like
we only do mother of pearl ones.
Yeah.
I feel like a 1, like a fail, is what would destroy your flak jacket, but I'd like to think it's a 6 instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be one of those succeeds to fail, like breathing in Alien, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the failure is the bullet's failure to destroy the armor.
Yeah.
It was on a thing talked about armor penetration. Oh my god, it was in here somewhere. Oh wait, imagine if there was an index.
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine? Penetration limits 82 and 70 something? 73. This penetration limit sounds about right. Where's Adam in the chat to make that terrifying? Yep, so if you roll a 6, D6, yeah, on a explosion symbol, its armor is decreased 1 step. So no, that was the armor symbol. So this one was the one where 1 is bad. So
I figured 1's bad in every other role in this game, so I assumed it was for this as well.
So the is now a 0. I was meant to, in my head, metagaming, I was meant to be like, oh yeah, I got to fix up Wilson's jacket when we have a downtime, but I did not.
Yeah, I forgot that too.
So
they can be repaired.
Yeah, they can be repaired.
Okay.
And he's going to roll his coolness under fire. You can see his team.
Cool as a cucumber,
Nice.
baby.
Yep. Personal coolness this time. But no flak jacket.
But it did use its armor rating for that shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the damage and whatnot happens after the shot.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
And I think it's probably fair to say that Soviet soldier will drop into cover.
Yeah,
just
like absolutely
drop
get in
right
behind something like a tree, a burnt out tree or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting partial cover behind it.
Yeah.
Or do you think he'd just be back up against, because he's injured, so he might go back up against the tree, try and get full cover.
Did he
would
do
be
the aim?
He'd put his hands up and just come out like that.
Like one of the
referees, we
inflatable
can
car
do whatever
things.
we want. He actually just gives us all the money.
And he inflates.
Oh, he's got one of those things from Metal Gear Solid. Boom.
Gets out of there.
I reckon he gets into cover. At least partial cover, let's say, for that one.
Did
he? If he didn't aim, he can get
partial
better
cover because he did spend his time shooting, right? As
Look
opposed
at that.
to...
I just gave him partial cover.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
We should use that more often.
And I'm just going to say that the other soldier sees who he's shooting at and they just combine fire. That's It makes sense.
Yeah.
This guy's not injured. He's only going to do like a smaller burst of fire. And it's a fail.
Yeah, so his gun actually
Kills him.
Misfires.
it becomes less reliable,
Yes.
which I can change for him here.
And that's because there's a failure in the ammo dice, right?
Correct.
It's like a
Misfire.
misfire. Yeah. Like a jam or something.
Well, if there's
Backfire
two
would
of
be
them,
so
then
good.
Yeah.
if he'd rolled two of those pink things, then it would have been a jam.
Oh, okay, cool.
cool.
That's really cool.
Which is one of the difficulties if you're firing, the saw with 5 dice, is if you get two of them, all of a sudden you jam, and you have to try and sort that out.
Yeah.
He did get a bullet though, so I need to roll coolness under fire again.
So what is because it could be a suppression, right?
Yeah, could be
Yeah.
suppressed.
Right.
So it hit in the area, didn't actually hit me, but
Like pings off the car. Ping.
is it enough to get my head down? Oh, I forgot to roll unit morale as well.
Just a D12, I think.
We'll only take the D12.
Yeah. I
okay,
will
no,
not take the new fail. I will just take the D12.
So after 8 more rounds come firing at him, Davis is just going to hunker down and is suppressed.
I like the idea that like shatters one of the lights off the front of the car.
Yeah, Davis was by a tree, and so branches and limbs and little flecks of wood are flying off, and he's like, "Fuck!"
And I think he too would probably go into partial cover. Where do I do that again?
I see he's invisible now.
There we go.
Stealth.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
How did you do that? Because that's useful.
I right clicked, and then on the right hand side in the middle, there's like status effects, and the top 2 are cover, and then there's Overwatch, and there's suppressed. So you could even give yourself a little fancy little suppressed.
That's cool.
Oh, I can do a suppress. Let's go.
And I'll give myself a partial cover as well from behind the car. All right.
Suppress isn't.
I think, and honestly, Wilson, you've got like maybe partial cover because the window is there, so we're all in partial cover. Okay. Top of the round, back with Miller, who is going to he sees who you fired on, and he sees that he quickly ducked in behind a tree, and he's just going to fire on that soldier. I think at this point he's going to if what he wanted to do was like position himself fully behind the car, reach into the car and grab the AKM, would that be fast and slow action altogether?
Yeah, if he's moving, that would be his fast action, for instance, and then he would need another action to grab the AKM.
Never mind. We're gonna aim and fire. It'd be silly to do otherwise.
Oh, sorry, I just saw something. If you fail a cuff roll and get suppressed, all friendly fighters in the same hex must also immediately make cuff rolls to avoid suppression too.
Oh, okay. So we all need to.
Is me yelling, shit.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll do mine. I have a success and a fail. What happens? Do you just look at the successes?
It's just a success. It's only if you push it that the failures come through.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wilson succeeded.
I wonder if it's going to add automatically add stuff now that we're in partial cover. Now that we've ticked that, I wonder if that's going to adjust anything. Anyway, Miller's going to sight up and fire once more. How's his magazine looking? Actually, he's got 84 bullets left. He's just going to unload again.
It turns out I dropped prone, so I'm actually in full cover, not partial. But
cool.
The joy of suppression.
Middle dice are good.
He's failed. He's got 3 bullets, but I think he's gonna push the roll. I think he's sighted it up. He's aimed, and he's just laid into the tree. and then I think he's just going to like pick it up and just kind of like reposition it onto a different part of the car and take another go. Does it suppress, because it uses my ammo, does it do suppression and the next attack?
I believe that the 6s won't get re-rolled.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Oh shit!
Good.
This is not good.
This is what we were talking about.
Yeah. So okay,
But it does happen at the end. So they get to
Okay.
roll suppression and then kunk.
Dang, and he loses what, -3 reliability?
Oh wow.
Oh, sugar.
Is there much more on the
Oh
saw?
wait, there's one left, so it has already removed that. So it's 1 of 5 right now. He's used up most of the ammo in that that first box of ammo. So to anyone who didn't see that dice roll, there was a miss and a fail, and then the ammo roll was like 3 successful and 2 unsuccessful. 2 unsuccessful means there's a weapon jam. So 3 bullets, he like lands a bunch of these bullets into the tree that this guy is behind, and so he has to do a coolness under fire.
Yep.
So let's do that. He fails.
So check the other chap as well.
And the other guy has to do it as well. Coolness under fire. Boom. He's all right. So this guy here is now suppressed. What is that? Means they lose their next
Yep.
turn, right?
They drop prone, so now he's in full cover, but he loses his turn.
So he's in full cover. Okay. And then the gun jams.
Yep.
Oh man.
So clearing a jam is a slow action and requires a skill roll for the weapon.
Now or on my
On your
next
turn. You've used your slow action.
Yeah. So it's my next turn, right? Okay. Yeah, cool. Over to you, Davis.
Davis is gonna kind of like get their head back in the game. Like, okay, quick check of the gun, ready to go for next turn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And no longer suppressed.
All right.
Good fun with the tokens.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
nice. All right. Wilson is going to hear that saw make that horrible, not suppressing the enemy, killing all the bad guys sound. And he's going to grab his M16 carbine, and he's going to scramble out of the car on the side furthest from combat, and he's going to use his fast slow action. You guys help me out here to give the M16 to Miller, and then he's going to have his pistol ready for next time, but he'll use his effort to make that a thing.
Can we just amend that a little bit? Instead of giving him your M16, you get him the AKM that was like that he had brought in. That way I don't have to fuss around with my character sheet.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So Wilson's going to grab the AKM as he scrambles out of the car. Miller with the thing and it's Wilson Miller.
Nice.
Soviet soldier, suppressed guy. I'll do this one, guys.
Yeah.
He's suppressed, and he's going to skip his turn. There's just bullets. The saw is pumping out like 600 rounds per minute, just shredding the bark above him. And he's just going to push his face into the dirt. His arm is already sore. He doesn't want to collect any of that in his face. And he might even say, "Bujak!" And then it's the next Soviet's turn. He knows what's up. He's seen cheeky old Wilson scramble through the car. He's lost sight of Davis, and he's going to take a shot at Wilson. He's going to click on his AK-74 carbine, and he's going to use his fast and slow action to shoot, so that's no modifier. And he's going to click the roll. Dude, that's enough.
three successes.
The best roll in the game.
Oh.
That is. Oh, let me do this one.
Love to see it. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Damage
Alright,
of
there we
2
go.
plus
Damage
2
2.
extra successes.
So 4 damage to the
4
torso.
4 damage, and Wilson doesn't have any armor protection from his flak jacket.
No.
Oh, but there is partial cover for the car.
Yep.
Let's go partial cover for the car, so it goes from 4 to 1. Sorry, reduce it by 1.
Yes, to 1. Yes.
So he suffers 3 damage.
Yep.
Going from
Oof.
full health to 1
Oh my-
skid left.
Miller just watches like you hand over the AKM, right? And then just these bullets tear through the car, like through the wall of the car and into Wilson.
Wilson, can you roll on the critical injuries torso table?
Oh shit.
Roll on the table, and
Yep.
then I go to
Critical injuries is a header, and
and then torso. Yep.
Yeah.
Roll.
but roll really low.
Yeah, roll.
Oh, punctured lung. How's that? So maybe glass from the windows of the car is shredding out. Bullets just punch through the gap in
Oh.
the back of his flak jacket into his lung, where he keeps his air for breathing.
That's my good breathing lung.
Like itself. And maybe for flavor too, he just falls over onto his face.
That's not where I put bullets.
They're for the pockets and the little gun boxes. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Oh shit! This got real.
It escalated. All right, I'm going to quickly end that guy's turn.
Okay, I do have a question that you may hate me to ask. But we're about maybe 2 kilometers away from a group of moving soldiers, right? 150 wide. They've got big, loud combat vehicles traveling with them, right? So there's noise from that. There's obviously also fighting happening around this area anyway. Do they hear us?
Lucky dice.
I did Google this before, and it said a rifle sound might be reasonably heard up to 2 miles, but a lot depends on the rifle and load, the amount of vegetation, terrain, and trees and atmospheric conditions. So
You
it
did
could-
say all of the trees had been burnt out. So
I mean, but for the back, so maybe these ones as well.
Yeah.
But as you say, there's lots of movement. I reckon it's a lucky die.
Yeah, lucky die. Can I click the lucky die? This is going so well. Where do I find it?
I really feel like you have cornered the market on die at the moment.
yeah.
Where do I find lucky die?
Roll on a table, and then under the table there's like a where is it?
Is there a lucky die table?
Under the Oracle cards category,
Cool.
there's like
I got it.
there's like
Lucky
6
die.
lucky die for some reason.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
it keeps adding more and
Yeah.
more of the same things. I don't know why it's doing this.
all right. So the question for the lucky die is
Do they not hear
do they hear the gunfire enough for them to do something about it?
we can do it in two phases. Do they
All right.
do they hear the gunfire?
Okay.
And do
Yeah,
they
all right,
and do they perceive it as like a threat? So
But
maybe,
I think if we get extreme yes, we just go straight to they have perceived it as a threat.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So Wilson will roll this one because his luck is so good. Do
Face
they hear
down.
it? Click. No,
Oh,
they do not hear it.
I
All right,
like-
over to-
I like that you did that secretly, like privately. So you didn't even click the button. You just like
I didn't.
no. I'm just
You can right click on the
you would've.
entry and put to show.
I'm sure you did. I was just like
Yeah.
it was done secretly, so it was just like
Oh, I didn't
No.
get shit other thing either. There you go. Yeah, cool.
okay.
It's in the chat.
Oh yeah, nice.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, all right.
they
oh,
didn't hear.
oh, that's got the lethal box ticked.
Where are you?
Oh, it does.
So Davis has seen that shot, and knowing you're not wearing armor, knows that is going to be lethal, but knows that we do have a window on which he can get to you with his surgical tools to try and stop you from dying.
We don't have any med kits left.
I have a surgical kit,
Okay, cool. Okay, okay.
so it's only good for critical
I was
injuries.
gonna say good because we're gonna need that.
Yeah, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you want to roll a coolness under fire?
For Wilson,
Yeah. Does Wilson take this
Yes.
like an absolute champ?
I can guarantee that he will do something.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, he takes it. He's like, you know what? It's just a bit of glass. It'll come out in the wash. It'll
Meanwhile,
be
it's
fine.
like
Wheezing.
Maybe just the confidence that he's seen in his comrades in their recent surgery. He knows that it's gonna suck, but he'll be okay. All right.
Okay.
I don't want to touch this anymore, guys. Miller's turn.
Miller's like being handed that gun, just hears more bullets, and Wilson just dropping to the ground, and he's just like, I know you did okay, coolness under fire. I think he's just caught up in trying to take care of the threat. He's gonna.
Actually, we might take a stress for seeing
I was gonna say,
someone take a critical injury.
I feel like that deserves a stress roll, a stress point. Miller's not going to leave the war in a very good mental state, I don't think. I'm happy just to. I'm just going to give myself a stress point. That's.
Oh, sorry. 2. Seeing your buddy suffer a lethal critical injury is 2.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm very glad I took that extra sleep. Otherwise, I would have just gone like catatonic on the ground. So he's freaking out and just fueled with anger, just screams out, "Ah!" Aims for the guy in partial cover, and lets loose. I do get a rifleman bonus on this one, which is great.
Nice.
How many bullets do we have in this? 15. Okay, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna fucking go. Oh. We're gonna push it again. We have to push it. He calms down. He's got that scream out. He sights it up again and goes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes and no.
It's another weapon jam, but he does hit for 2 damage. The guy is behind in the head, but he's behind partial cover. So is that 1 or 2 points of
Partial
armor?
cover doesn't cover head. That's the point of it. Is that your head and your hands is visible so they can shoot.
Oh, no.
Okay, well he does have a helmet, Soviet SSH helmet with a rating 1 of 1. So he'll take 1 damage to the head, I guess.
Well, it's 2 successes. So what's the damage on a AKM?
No, it's only 1. Oh, it is 2 successes. Oh shit.
So it might be 4 damage.
It's
Or 3 damage.
2 damage is like the base damage, but we get +1, so it's 3 damage, and 3 is in the crit. It says
Crit.
3.
Yep.
So does that mean it's crit damage?
Is that after the helmet's been taken off as well?
Oh, so that's once the okay. So it's 3 damage minus 1 for the helmet, so 2 damage to the head.
The wind is blowing that direction, which forces the bullet in a bit.
Just a bit faster.
And there will be a courage under fire test.
And also, does the helmet explode? Like,
roll your d6 for them.
Yeah, nice.
Rolling a d6. It's fine. Can I push that and try?
Come on, luck.
All right, so he's still got his helmet, but he does take, what was it, 2 damage?
Yeah.
To the head. Oof.
Which guy are you shooting at?
The guy on the right.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
The one that was in partial cover. And he does a coolness under fire as well. Let's roll that. He doesn't succeed.
Cool. So he drops prone and is suppressed.
Nice.
Suppressed. And takes full cover, I guess.
And his mate needs to check as well.
Oh, these guys suck.
I mean, to be fair,
Wilson probably doesn't. This guy's cool under fire. He's already sort of he's pushed through that last barrage. He's just stoked the bullets aren't aimed at him this time. Davis.
Davis is going to yell, "Fire in the hole!"
Oh, here we go. They're already suppressed though, so
Yeah, but I want to blow them up.
okay. Good luck.
Do it.
Roll.
Yo.
Oh, misfire means it goes in a weird place.
Back into the car with Wilson.
He brings his arm back to throw it, and it just goes behind him.
Throws the pin at them.
Yeah.
Where's the thing that says where your grenade goes if you've mucked up? Grenade? Please hold, caller.
Okay.
Like, we've got the digital thing, but like I love these books. They're just so delightful. Wow, grenade does not actually have a thing. Hand grenade. Okay. Pull the pin before throwing it. Yep. Don't spend an action to aim. Don't get a penalty. If it lands in the hex, while mobility. No, that's none of that's useful. Oh, there you go. Deviation. So
Lands on Wilson. Weird. It's in the book.
So I think what we'll do is we'll just roll a D6 to see whether a 1 means it kind of lands behind them, a 4 means it lands closer to us, and then the other things are kind of around there. Mainly hoping it's not a 4. Sweet. So it kind of lands... It's back into the right of where he wanted to throw it. But I think it would be enough that it would just catch the suppressed one on the very edge, so less damage than if he had actually hit them. Because it didn't actually land on him. Oh wait, they're both in the same hex.
Yeah, they're both, and yeah, they'd be very close to each other for sure.
Okay, so it effectively goes off and does, because the large blast radius does 1 damage.
Okay.
Or I'll roll 2d6 and see. Yeah, one damage.
Nice.
And
since it's a grenade, they regain health.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Not just 1 damage. Is there a button for where in the body it is?
I'm just giving them both their 1 damage as well.
It's just if it's in the helmet, then it does nothing. Oh, roll dice? No.
Oh yeah, can you roll a body dice?
There is just a table, so I'm just going to roll a d6 to find out where.
Cool.
Because there's probably that thing somewhere. A 5 is a shooting them in the head.
Brainstem.
Oh wait, a 5 is the arm.
Okay, nice.
So they both
both
take
of them.
1
Now,
damage in the arm.
I don't want to be this guy, but a grenade going off might maybe attract some attention as well, right?
Yeah,
Look,
I mean we can
guys.
roll it again. How far can you hear a grenade? They're very loud. You can hear them from miles away.
It's an explosion.
Yeah.
A small one.
Key.
Shall we do a lucky dice? But instead, 1 or 2 is no, but 3, 4, 5 is yes, and 6 is yes with a
Wait, why are you adding more yeses?
yeah.
Well, no, we could just roll normal. Don't have I'm happy to
So
just
two rolls, right?
I'm just
Oh, wait,
happy
I'm
to
pressing the wrong
use. I'm happy to use just the lucky dice, so we don't have to go crazy.
I've got a button that turns everything into night. I pressed the wrong one. Hold on. Let's turn it back into day.
Wilson
dice.
vision.
No. Okay, there you go. No, they didn't.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Suppression roll for the one that's not suppressed.
Suppression roll.
Coolness under fire. Sorry.
Okay. Mojo says DM says it's like we're all DM, okay? So they failed.
Yeah. So he's suppressed.
Yeah. Okay.
Bought us a moment.
It's Wilson's turn.
And then ducking back into full cover.
All right. Wilson's gonna find himself face down in the dirt with a lot of pain all over the place.
Yeah.
And he's going to use a little bit of adrenaline to just manage himself over the next few minutes. He's going to hunker himself down behind the wheel of the car and tuck his extremities in a bit to try and get himself into full cover. And he's going to pass his pistol with a shaking arm up to Miller. And that'll be his turn.
Oh, man. Both soldiers are suppressed, so they're just going to spend their 2 actions recombobulating and sort of sheltering and getting ready for their next turn, I guess, so they're no longer suppressed. Oh, Millie's been handed this pistol.
Looking at the M16
Jam.
So
it's a slow action to unjam, is that right?
Yeah, slow action, and you got to roll effectively a weapon attack.
And a fast action is to like fire this pistol, is that right? And
Still a slow action.
That's
so
slow.
you've got no shooting this turn.
Well, I could have shooting if I like slow
shoot
and
a pistol
fast.
or reload.
If you just blame the pistol, then
fast is running, or is that movement slow as well, or is that
moving is fast?
What's the damage on a pistol?
It's not bad.
Combat pistol.
It's got a number.
Yeah. It's got a value on that number.
And the damage is 1.
Oh, it's
crit is 2. 15 shots in the mag, though.
I'm just having a quick look here. Okay, you know what? He sees just how rough Wilson is, and he doesn't take that pistol. He just grabs the knife at his side and runs towards the enemy. And he's going to run, and if he can get there with enough movement, he's going to jump onto the guy behind the guy on the right and attack with his knife.
Well, movement is you can run 20 meters for free.
Right.
I feel like they may be a bit further out. However, you can, for a single fast action, roll mobility, and for every success you get an additional 10 meters. So how far away do we reckon they are?
21 meters?
19 convenient.
Like 19, yeah. Look, honestly, like I was thinking they were going to be more than that. I thought they were going to be like 50 meters minimum.
Yeah.
40, 50.
Yeah.
So you could still make it with the mobility roll if you roll well, right?
Yeah, if you get good mobility, you can do it.
He doesn't have the best. Can he just drive the car?
Well, it's going.
You can throw the knife, right? Could you run up and then throw it?
I don't know if he can throw it like 80 meters.
Attach a grenade to it and then throw the knife.
Well, yeah, you turf that grenade, so they're close enough for that grenade to have thrown that grenade at them.
Yes. Oh yeah, grenades. I've looked it up. Have a range of about 30 meters. So they're 30-ish meters.
If I do roll this mobility and it gets a success, that means I can add an extra 10 meters to my movement. Is that right? Can I still attack?
It's a fast action for your movement, so you'd have your slow action attack.
He's going to give it a go. He's going to fucking give it a go.
Miller, no guns.
Yeah, he's got 0 guns on him now. It's a success!
Move!
He just books it towards like this big thighs, like muscular thighs, like just digging into the ground with his feet as he just runs knife in hand. He's got it kind of military style hanging down from his hand. Just run, and he just grabs onto that tree and just hooks around with the knife into the chest. That's what he's aiming for. into the soldier. So we're gonna go close combat. This is when he misses.
Yeah.
I do have
the tree.
I do get a +1 for my close combat rolls. Oh, that's unarmed close combat, so he's not going to punch him in the face.
I tell you what, though, the target is prone. He ducked down behind full cover because he was thing. So you get +2 for that.
So bad.
Oh, also, hold on. You've done what's known as a diving blow. In a single round, first run into the same hex as the enemy and then strike them with an unarmed blow. You get +2. So you get +4 for this.
Modifier. His biceps pulsing as he tries to bring this down.
You animal!
Three successes. How does that work with a knife? Is it similar? So the first success is the base damage and then 2. So it's base damage of 2. So he gets 4 damage.
In the guy's arms.
In the guy's arms. Are they... I don't think they're covered by any kind of...
No.
And so he's done crit as well.
Oh,
You can chop the arms off for that much damage.
You're just holding the guy's arms up.
I mean, looking at them, they don't have much health and with a lot of damage. But do you want to roll the crit to give it some flavor?
How do I do the crit again?
Roll table.
Oh yeah.
Crit arms. Wilson knows all about it.
Oh right, yeah. Critical injuries arms. Is that what I'm?
Yeah.
All right. Shattered elbow. Yeah, because it's like that's where the knife goes in, just and he just like pops it through the guy's arm. Takes his arm off, and he bleeds. Dies bleeding into the ground.
Chonky.
He's dead.
We don't need guns in this game. We just need lots of knives.
All right.
Can I suggest a coolness under fire for this last guy? Oh, like, is he gonna surrender? He's just seen his boss gunned down, and now this guy.
This guy's got like Miller's just like absolute fury on his face, with the knife down into his mate as he looks over, and locks eyes with Miller for a moment. Coolness under fire roll. He fails. And he just bleeding because he's taken that shot to the arm. He just like throws his gun down onto the ground and raises his arms, spouting some panicked Polish.
Joke's on him, we don't even speak Polish.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's probably speaking Russian, isn't he?
Some kind of Soviet bloc language.
I think he's like trying to speak Russian and Polish, not knowing who we are. And I think that's where we're gonna have to wrap it up for tonight.
Things are certainly.
Oh. That was awesome. That was super cool.
This game.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Nuke the Cow from our Discord said, reminds me of Half-Life, hacking people to bits. Yeah, maybe I went a little bit brutal on that guy, but he saw Wilson go down. He had 2 jammed guns. He's not good with pistols. That was this. He just had to get in there.
It's like not good luck with guns at the moment.
No. He's got 2 guns he needs to fix when we get back in the car.
That's where his nickname comes from. He always breaks 2 guns.
You always got to have the backup.
Yeah.
That is funny that he's been called 2 guns this whole time and he only had 1 gun until he stole that second one.
Right, shall we XP up?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
So, did you participate in the session?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Did you follow your moral code, despite significant risk to yourself or others in the group?
Forgot what my moral code
Me
is.
too.
I decided.
Google it.
Hell yeah! I decide who lives and dies. He's like this guy. It's time for him to die. Does that count? Do you think?
Go on. Yep. Did you risk or sacrifice something significant to realize your big dream?
No.
Hell no.
Simon?
A lung.
Did you travel through at
Big
least
fail
one
without
hex
paying.
that you've not visited before? Yep.
His big dream was to have one fewer lungs. And it's coming along really well.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
So it was +1 XP for traveling through a hex, any hex.
Yep.
You did it. Cool.
Nice.
Did you overcome one or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent means? Yeah, we overcame a couple.
Yeah. The boar, easy
Oh,
mode.
yeah, that was cool.
The Spetsnaz soldiers, less easy mode. Did you risk your life for the buddy PC who was your buddy? Or I mean, Miller ran into melee combat. That's
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
With zero
Yeah.
guns. Zero guns instead of 2 guns.
and Wilson jumped out of cover to hand a weapon when he saw that it was.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take it.
I mean, he literally risked his life. He should have stayed in the car. He would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow. We come really close to dying at times. I mean,
Ooh.
don't get me wrong. Wilson is still suffering from a lethal wound.
And so we can spend 5 points. Is that right?
Yeah.
Whatever you've got left at the moment, you can spend, and it's 5 to get something to D.
Yeah. I'm gonna bump up my medical aid to D because
Makes sense.
since he's successfully done some med stuff this session, I think that just makes sense.
I don't have enough XP.
Oh,
And if you don't want to go from D, can you go from D to C or something like
for
that?
10 points, right?
I believe it's 10 points,
Yeah,
but I'll
yeah,
just
okay.
double check. It is. Yep, to get to C is 10 points.
Okay. Yeah. Wilson has a total of 5 XP, but no real. Nothing really would make sense for him to bump.
Does it have to make
Okay,
sense?
for now.
Does it have to make sense to the story? You're just like, you know what? He thought about it really hard and now he's good at this thing.
Well, I mean, maybe there was idle chatter in the car when we're driving along or resting.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? So watching Miller and Davis do the double surgery combo, he's like, blood on the inside, bullets on the outside, and he's going to bump his medical aid to D.
And then he just proved that point, like, oh, yeah. Bullets are terrible on the inside.
Yeah, application.
Thank you to Rollstream, who's just rated us with a party of 3. We always had that crossover that you guys are wrapping up just as we're kind of wrapping up as well. We've been having an awesome little game of Twilight 2000, which has been super cool. Also, Moj in the chat says, don't stab the surrendering guy. We'll see what happens next week. See if he has arms by the end of the next session. I felt very awesome doing that with Miller at the end there. I was very happy to get that and not fail completely, which could have
Crit fail on the stab and just go.
yeah, or just like straight into the tree. Uh-oh.
Fail the mobility roll and be like, ha.
Yeah.
Middle of open ground. Hey,
Oof, that would have been so
you dropped
rough.
your knife.
But I am right in front of you if that helps.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was fun. Thanks, guys.
Man, 3 were terrifying. 150. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, there's only 147 now. We can do this.
True. That is true.
We
We can do
can
it.
do it. Do that metagame thing where you just like hang out on the edge, rest to get your health back up, and then just chip away at the horde, right?
yeah.
Eat a loaf of bread. Watch it.
Throw a rock and 3 at
Yeah.
the back go, what was that? And come like moving away from the group.
Yeah. That game with the big zombie hordes.
Days
Trying to make
Gone.
it good. Days gone, just like that.
Yeah, dude. That game ruled. Again, awesome session. I'm very much enjoying this system. It's very cool. It's really funny. I was talking to Joe about it, who played Mirakan, and I was just like, you would hate it. You would hate this game so much. Because she's all about that like fantasy world. She likes the fantasy world, being good guys and the power fantasy and stuff like that. And I was just like, nah, this is just like someone could surrender and you got to decide if you're going to kill them or not. And she's like, no.
I find it so interesting though to play a game that is no fantasy.
I'm
I mean,
not
it seems
normally I'm not normally like a war kind of guy. Like I'm not a big fan of like guns and war, and even war games I'm not a massive fan of. But I am digging this. There's something different about kind of role playing it. That is I'm digging this one, which is very strange. But also picking like a character that's just like strong and good with guns. I'm just like, okay, I get it.
Good with guns?
He's done
There's
a lot
two
of
guns.
damage with guns. But yeah, he keeps jamming them. Yeah,
Two
that's
guns,
cool.
one knife.
How about you, Reese? What do you think? Because
Yeah.
you've played a few different systems now as well. What do you think of this one?
I think this system really bottles up the theme of what we're trying to do pretty well. Like you said, it's not we can just blaze through this stuff. Any encounter, like what would actually happen if you're over there trying to do a thing, could significantly change what your characters are doing. Combat is lethal. The food required to rest mechanic and that some of the other stuff in the background like makes sense. You do need to sleep. You can't just power on for like weeks at a time. Petrol runs out, and I think those all work together to make an immersive Polish experience. Initially, I was like, we're nearly there. This is going to be hard. No.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be pretty sweet drive to the final spot, to be honest. I felt bad about the idea of like, we need to roll on whether of these guys, because that's what I'd be doing as a DM. I'm like, guys, you're making a lot of noise. So that was tense. A legitimate, like, I don't know what we would have done if we had like caught the attention of even half of the soldiers. You know what I mean?
Car that way.
Yeah, I mean, we would have had to.
Run.
Have. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been awesome.
It's quite cool the fact that we as the players are just laughing and chatting and joking and stuff, and then there's one roll, and all of a sudden, all of us are like, "Oh shit!" Like almost died in one shot.
Yeah. How about you, Christian? What do you think? Because is this the first time you've really put it to its paces?
Yeah, I mean, like I did a very quick solo playthrough. I think I spent like an hour just to try out some of the rules, and my person almost died from an infection after someone stabbed him in the back, and then he got sold out to the Soviets. So it's
right.
This is going so much better, weirdly enough. It's so. I find it really interesting, and I was not going to lie, concerned about the whole fact that we're in Poland fighting Soviets. There's a lot happening in the world at the moment, but then I mean, a lot of art is topical, but also removed. Every movie during the 80s that references the Cold War. I mean, they made those. So,
I mean, there's a reason that this as a theme has been made, because it was always a realistic threat that could have happened. We're unfortunately living current world events where it is happening, which the people who made this probably didn't really think. It was always going to be just like maybe eventually. Maybe.
Yeah, alternate history, right?
But probably
not.
Is. So, it's obviously pretty heavy at this point to be playing something like this and making light of it, but it is also showing how, like you said, just one simple thing is actually legitimately fearful for these characters. So I don't know what I'm saying. It sucks that it's actually happening in parts of this world.
But I enjoy that someone has got this system, which was made long before. This is the 4th edition.
Yeah.
And they've refined down a game really well, I think. I think it plays well, even if we're just kind of like skipping through rules and stuff.
Yeah. I will keep looking at the rules and see if we get anything else. We got anything else wrong, and that a critical lung wound means his lungs are on the outside now, and I don't know, maybe something.
We've run out of medkits, so now we're going to have to potentially test for infection if we don't heal ourselves.
I fully do surgery. This is going to be cool.
And we've got to do surgery.
Yeah.
But we also have a prisoner.
We did shoot a bad guy, Med.
We did.
Guy.
There was a med guy.
Yeah. He did have that backpack of like a surgery room on his back.
He did have
very
400 med kits as well.
A stim pack? What's this?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, we'll be back next Monday for a bit more of this. I don't know how many sessions we'll have. If everyone dies next week because 150 soldiers turn around, then so be it. But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Our previous sessions are up on YouTube, so you're welcome to go check them out there if you've sort of just caught us for tonight. And also, I do want to say thank you to our Patreons for the continued support. Just do a call out to our patrons at the moment: Andrew, Cappuccino, Drop Shadow, George, QSD, Lyndon, Squished, The Foolish Fool, and Tracy. Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon. I actually paid for, I don't have it with me in this room at the moment, but the big Dragonbane core box set was paid for thanks to your guys' support. So big thank you for that support. And I do encourage, if you enjoy what we do here, do jump over to Patreon and support us there, because every single dollar that comes our way, like I just said, it gets put back into the stream in some way, whether it's new games to play, Sirenscape subscription, Roll20 subscription, D&D Beyond subscription for when we get back to D&D. It all goes back in. So thank you so much for the support, and please do support us, because it's we love doing this. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the awesome session.
Yeah.
Thanks
for stopping by, people.
All right.
Thanks, boys.
See you everyone.